just looking at these charts, trying to figure out where our next destination will be. It's interesting, the weather has changed and we're not quite able to get to the Bahamas in the next few days, which is one of the things that I had been hoping to do right after this current location. But there's other options. I'm thinking about heading back down the Florida Keys. We're currently in this general location here, and heading over to the Marquesas and then the Dry Tortugas. That would be about a 3 or 4 day trip. If I do decide to stay there, we would stay maybe a couple of days and then head back up this way, and hopefully the weather will have shifted and I can once again utilize this location as a launching point to get to the Bahamas. So lots of options. This general area is absolutely beautiful. The weather's not cooperating right now, and that might just mean that we just wait and see what is available to us. And for now, I've been excited and happy that I'm here. So after studying weather patterns and specifically the wind conditions on Predict Wind, and reviewing the charts with my friend Drew and talking about it, I decided on the Dry Tortugas with a stop at the Marquesas Keys. After making a decision on the destination, and after a good night's rest, the next step is getting the boat ready. This includes filling all of the jerry cans with diesel and fresh water, and making sure that everything was in tip-top shape. I did a systems check on my radar and VHF radio. I did a walkthrough of the entire deck, including the cockpit, and then I made a list of all the provisions that we would be needing. This is Drew. He agreed to go with me and would be my first mate for this trip. We checked all the engine fluids, including the oil. Coco had her last meal at anchor. Next on the agenda was a run to the grocery store. Provisioning with Drew was a blast. And Coco was a good help also. It takes all hands on deck to get the boat ready for a trip, even for a short 3 or 4 day trip. There's a lot to do and a lot to prepare. Here you see Coco and I heading to shore on our dinghy to get more fresh water. Drew and I study the charts. So today we're going to we're coming from Buki Harbor. We're going to Key West tonight, and then after that we're heading to Marquesas Islands and then Dry Tortugas. So today it's about 10 o'clock a.m. now. We just left Buki Harbor. Our wind is really light. It's at 2.7 knots, so we don't even have sails up at the moment. We're just motoring out, hoping that the wind will pick up. According to Predict Wind, we should have winds at or about 10 to 12 knots from the northeast. So that in mind, we should be arriving at Key West approximately around sunset tonight. We'll be trying to look for a mooring field or anchorage that we can stay at and then rest for a little bit. And then from there we're going to Marquesas and ultimately Dry Tortugas. just left the Hawk Channel and we're on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean. Right now we are traveling about 5.5 knots. We have the Genoa and mainsail out. The weather conditions couldn't be better. You can see the watercolor behind me, how beautiful it is. It's a gorgeous day, having a great time. Over and out. It just won't stay full. That's full right there, but that's not staying full. Hey guys, so we are just now approaching Key West. This is the first leg of our trip. I'm here with Drew. Hi. And you can see the sunset, hopefully. Let me see if I can click on the sunset and see if it'll, yeah, kind of, sort of. And we're heading into Hawk Channel right now, and then we're gonna go to the southernmost tip of the United States. We're gonna skirt around that and go to an anchorage for tonight and maybe a couple more days. So we'll talk to you later. Bye. It started getting dark before we expected, so we ended up getting a slip at a marina in Key West. It was dark when we arrived, but the next morning we woke up to this. It was absolutely beautiful. I think Drew wanted to jump ship. It is about 10 o'clock a.m. It's January 31st, New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's, everyone. We are leaving Florida Keys now, heading towards the Marquesas. We had a wonderful stay down at a beautiful marina here in the Florida Keys, and we're heading out now. The weather's really good. Our wind is real light this morning at 7.5 knots. Our heading is 279 west at the moment. We'll be cutting across the Florida Straits to get over to the south side of the Gulf of Mexico and then to the Marquesas. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and talk to you soon. wind was not in our favor, so we had to motor the rest of the way. Coming into Marcos Island. We set the anchor and checked it twice. It was fun going under the boat.
So far over here, you don't do fast food that much.
Yeah, I don't do fast food, you're right.
But I'm pretty sure you share Taco Bell with me.
That's true. After a 2-day trip, it was really nice to be at anchor. We took the dinghy to shore and then took a nice long walk on the beach. The beach was beautiful, the sand was white. It felt so good to be walking on that beach. And the dinghy ride was incredible. You could see right through the water down to the ocean floor, and I just loved the way the vegetation looked under that water. You could see the little crab mounds, and we didn't see any fish. Every now and then we'd see a couple of fish swim by and some jellyfish, but other than that, it was basically just the vegetation and the sunlight hitting the water. It was beautiful. A little more starboard. A little more port, sorry. There we go. Armandina was just where we left her. She looked so pretty in the horizon. Yeah. Our first day at anchor was so awesome. Drew made a wonderful dinner, and I forgot to videotape or take any pictures of it, but it was super yummy. We enjoyed the sunset and just each other's company. It was so much fun. Coco had a blast. The next day, just before sunrise, we lifted our anchor and moved to the other side of the island. "14 feet of water. There's a reef that we're just going around here for just a second. You can see where the waves are splashing. We believe that might be the reef, the beginning of the reef. Once we pass that, we can go around it and be in deeper water. I couldn't get enough of these sunrises and sunsets. I mean, every day was just paradise. It was super beautiful. I definitely want to come back to the Marquesas Keys. I just love this place. There were very little visitors while we were here, and it feels like you're on your own private island. It was super cool. I will definitely be coming back. I think Coco really loved it as well. She was off leash a lot and was able to go swimming for the first time in a long time. The next morning, again, we were met with a beautiful sunrise. It was spectacular. We lifted anchor and started making our way back to Boot Key Harbor, Marathon, Florida. Excellent, thank you. We heard the U.S. Coast Guard talking about the dry tortugas being closed to tourism on the VHF radio, so we decided to head back to Key West. Fucking sunrise, it's so beautiful. Coming into Key West could be quite a challenge, going through the channel with these big cruise ships and all the other boat traffic. Luckily, there wasn't as much traffic as there was on our way out, so it was a pretty easy passage. That's good right there. Absolute paradise. The wind was right on our nose, so it was a very choppy ride home. But Coco seemed unfazed. She slept through most of it. We estimated the seas at about 2 to 4 feet. It was choppy the whole way back, but we made the best of it. We made it home safely and then cleaned the boat from head to toe. It was so good to be home.